everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the latest launch of Aether in Nepal. Today, I think we have a lot to talk about. We will be speaking about new services, new programs, new products, and there's so much more. I think it's an exciting time to be a part of this family, but I think before I get started, I just want to talk about our journey over the last 16 months. It's crazy to think it's already been 16 months. Sujal, I see a lot of our community members, our first community members here. I see all the people who are integral for the start and, building of teams for the Aether in Nepal. In the last 16 months, I still remember Ravneetji was here. We were working with the Aether team so closely to introduce and how to launch Aether and build the brand in Nepal. And over the last 16 months, we've learned a lot about what the two-wheeler industry is, how it works, and there's just so many learnings we've had all across the road. We've been able to experience and add 9 locations across the last couple of months, all across the country, with experience centers in Kathmandu, Pokhara, Chitwan, Butwal. We have a new test ride zone in Bauda that you should definitely go and test ride. I think all of this would not have been possible without our friends in media, influencers and everything. And you guys have really helped us to build the brand to where we are today. And I would like to take a moment to say thank you so much. You guys have been such a big part of our journey up until today. One of my most cherished memories over the last 16 months has actually been NADA. It's my first time taking part in NADA, learning how everything is. It's chaotic. There's so much teamwork required. There's so much communication required. There's everything required. It's just a whole ecosystem that we have to build. And in this time, we really learned what the two-wheeler industry was, what it meant to be in it. And we were realizing our place in the two-wheeler industry in Nepal. In that time, I got to work really closely with every single team member. I think the feeling is so difficult to recreate as well. I still do cherish that in my heart, and I think I always will. In that time, I think with all the hard work of the team and the dedication of the team and the creativity of the team, we were able to get the Best Stall Award in NADA in that. And a couple of months later, in the calendar year 2024, it was also reported that Aether Nepal was the #1 leading EV two-wheeler in the country. I think all of that actually, I have to kind of give it to our community. Without you guys, nothing would have been possible. You guys have trusted us, have trusted Vaidya Energy, have trusted Aether. You've selected us as your mobility solution, and we thank you, because we would not have been able to grow at the rate that we have without you. We've spoken to you about asking where we should put the next experience center, the next service centers, the next chargers, and you guys have been pivotal in the growth of Aether within Nepal. When we look forward as well, we did a recap to see the impact of Aether in the community as well. There were some numbers that we saw from our ride stats that kind of blew my mind. And I would just like to share some of them with you as well. Since the last 16 months, the Aether community has driven over 36 lakh kilometers already. We are a growing brand, we're a super young brand, and this number, hopefully next year, is going to be double, triple, 10x what we see on the screen today. This has led us to help Nepal be a more green and clean city as well. We've offset almost 1 lakh kilograms of CO2 from the environment as well. It's all up to you guys. One thing that I was curious on, and a study that we did, was we just want to see the impact of, you know, what EV mobility actually does for you. The first thing I think when we look at it operationally, yes, it does save you some money. We wanted to see how much exactly did we save, did our community save. And Ather riders have saved over 1.35 crores in fuel costs, potential fuel costs over the last year as well. I think recognizing the overall stats of our community, there are a couple of people who stand out, and we would love to recognize them as superheroes of Ather. They are our superheroes. So we have a couple of awards, 5 different awards to be more specific, where we have our community members here, and we will be calling them up on stage and talking to them about their achievements. So the first award is the Gridmaster. The Gridmaster is the person who used our fast charging grid the most. Just to let you know, Just to let you know, we have 22 chargers now, and charging is free on the 8th charging grid. So this person is really taking advantage, and we love it. We absolutely love it. So the winner of this award has used the Ather grid 1,541 times since we launched. And the winner is Anju Paudel. So can you please come up on stage? Again, we're loving that he's been using our infrastructure so heavily, and we love it. The next is the Beyonder. The Beyonder, the award, is for the hero with the highest average daily riding of the usage since the time they bought to today. Again, this person has integrated Ather into his life to make it a part of his daily commute, but I think so much more than that. This person, I didn't realize someone could drive that much in Kathmandu. It's a fairly small valley. My commutes are very short. It's a massive number. So the winner of the Beyonder is Suresh Deola with 106 kilometers a day on average since owning the scooters. Suresh, well done. Moving on, the Lord Maximus is the champion who achieved an unbelievable range on one full charge. So what we did is, because we have 2 different battery packs, we kind of calculated who got the most out of their product. So the winner actually is the 450S customer who has the 2.9 kilowatt battery with the true range of 90 kilometers and the IDC range of 111 kilometers. What this person has done shocked me. It really shows what Ather is possible to do, but what the riders are possible to do with the products. Again, just reminding you, the true range that we claim is 90 kilometers and the IDC range is 111 kilometers. And this person was able to achieve 121 kilometers on one charge. Pravesh, I'll let you please come up on stage. You need to give a tutorial on everyone on how to ride and how you did this. The next is the Trailblazer. The Trailblazer is an extraordinary individual who rode the farthest since the launch. So we launched on November 5th, 2023. And since then, we've gone a long way. I think people are utilizing it on a daily basis. This person was one of the first customers that we had. And for even last year's Community Day event, we actually had an internal community competition. And his brother actually came with us because he won. He had the highest daily riding average at that time. And he actually won the opportunity to come to Bangalore with us and experience Ather as a brand in person, there with Tarun Mehta, seeing all the new launches and seeing everything. So this is his brother. Mukunda Timalsina has driven 42,486 kilometers. Congratulations. The next one is the Power Ranger. The Power Ranger is an interesting one. It's the person who used warp mode, which is our fastest driving mode for the longest amount of time and who uses the most out of their daily commutes as well. Again, a literal blur on the streets. Again, sharing with you a very fun story. When we first brought Ather into Nepal and we hadn't even launched our brand, myself and my brother-in-law were driving around New Road. We were trying to get localized content of the Ather, get some good photos. We were testing the products in the city. And Daseko Belama ekdamai huluncha ni. There was such a big crowd. And I was stuck in traffic. Someone tapped on my shoulders and said, "Is that the Ather?" Like, seeing it for the first time ever in Nepal. And a minute later, he took my number. The next day, he came and booked. And he's been an integral part in our community, being so active, really helping our community members out and grow even further. Their input is so helpful to us. So Sujal Sharma is the one who's used warp mode the most in Nepal. I'm so glad you're here, man. So, I think we can take a moment and recognize our superheroes. Ours, Ather superheroes, and we're really looking forward to build the community with them. It's a huge thank you. Thank you, everybody. So, I think that was a hyper exciting moment. I think we can, Ather is one company that can really delve into its community. We really look to build our community and make the best possible mobility solution possible. Affiliating with us, we try to work as closely with you as possible. And I think that's one thing that we've taken out of Ather's book, even in India. I think just to set the context and switch modes a bit, looking at where we are today and where the industry is today, EV makes up made up 3%, approximately 3% of the entire two-wheeler industry. And we've spent the last 16 months trying to figure out why exactly that's the case. Why haven't we been able to increase this number to 10, 20, 50. There's a couple of things that we found out along the way. When we look at the existing customers who've switched to EV before, we have recognized that a lot of the importers that have come before have left a lot of customers stranded. They burnt their fingers. After-sales service is something that's crucial, that needs to be there, again, to make the experience of ownership easy. Ather, since the beginning, the focus has been on service. Since our first meeting with Ather till today, we have realized that we really need to build trust by providing you the service that you deserve. Another problem that we've seen in the market is battery assurance as well. A fun fact for the people who didn't know, Ather started off as a battery and motor manufacturing company. Tarun Mehta, Swapnil Jain from IIT Madras. They figured out there was a problem. No one was making high-quality batteries and a good BMS system to figure out to put into a mobility solution. And they started making one. Once they had something ready, they went to market. They figured out that they didn't have people buying it or wanting to buy their system. So they kind of took a swing in the dark and said, okay, we're going to try this ourselves. We're going to make a product ourselves. And that's what they've done. So from day one, Ather has been working on building the best batteries possible. That makes a huge chunk of the cost as well when we look at these vehicles. And looking at Ather's drive to excel, to innovate in this area is huge. Final is infrastructure. When we look at the existing infrastructure today, even for the four-wheelers with massive adoption, we see for the two-wheelers, maybe that's not existent. By this, what we mean is it's not just a service center, but it's the places that you can go to even fix a tire, to even charge your product, and that's something where that has been at the forefront of our vision and our goal. So today, we have some exciting launches trying to work towards a solution for these problems. As Vaidya Energy and as Ather, we are trying to figure out what will help that 3% that we saw earlier expand quickly. We want to be the catalysts of that numbers growth. So, for after sales, we are today introducing Ather Care, a new program and an AMC. So for this, I'll be playing a quick video.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here with you today. You know, what I want to talk to you about today is how we're making scooter ownership not just thank you. Good evening, everyone. What I want maintenance. It's the part no one likes to think about. That's why we've created something special. Ather Care. It's not just a maintenance plan likes to think about. That's why we've created something special. Ather Care. It's not just a maintenance plan, it's a revolution in how you take care of your scooter. With Ather Care, all that worry, all that hassle, it's gone. Now, let me tell you about the 3 incredible options we've designed for you. Because we know every rider is different. Whether you're someone who just wants the essentials or you want everything covered, there's an Ather Care plan for you. We have 3 different categories. Ather Care. First, there's Ather Care, the essentials. This plan, you get 2 free periodic maintenance services for your Ather to be as smooth as butter. 10% discount on wear and tear parts, 10% discount on labor, and all of this comes at just rupees 1999. It's simple, it's affordable, and it's everything you need to keep your ride in top shape without breaking the bank. But maybe you want a little more. That's where Ather Care Plus comes in. It includes everything in the base plan, those 2 free maintenance services, but adds some more things in your bucket. 3 free polishing services, 3 free wash services because your scooter deserves to look as good as it feels. And the discounts even better. 10% on parts and 15% on labor. All this is yours for rupees 2499. It's the perfect blend of performance and polish. And for those who want the absolute best, we have AetherCare Max. What you get with AetherCare Max is insane. The 2 free maintenance services, of course, 2 free brake pad replacements, 1 front, 1 rear to keep you safe and in control. Free belt lubrication 3 times a year for that extra smooth ride. 5 free polishing services, 5 free washes, plus the same great discounts. 10% on parts and 15% on labor. This ultimate package is priced at rupees 3999. It's top tier care for a top tier ride. Thank you.
Thank you, Nelia, for explaining this in so much detail. So for the people who don't know, I apologize. Nelia is actually our head of service at Aether Nepal. So thank you again for going through all of the Aether plan and everything in so much detail. So quick recap on this. Actually, one thing is that with our AetherCare Max as well, you can save of up to 15,000 rupees a year with this new plan. We are trying to make EV ownership easier. We want people to be able to, close their eyes and be like, my next mobility solution can definitely be electric and definitely be Aether. With this, we are launching some other exciting things as well. But before that, I just want to talk about one little issue that is prevalent in the market as well. Longevity of batteries and even leading to valuations later in life. So depreciation happens a little bit quickly with electric vehicles, as we know today with the existing products. That's one thing that we don't want you to worry about. Once you have an Aether under you and you're zipping through the streets, hopefully maybe driving quicker than Sujal. He will be passing you. I don't know if you can drive faster than him. But we want you to only think about the joys of driving. So we don't want you to worry. And for that, I'll be handing over to explain a little bit more to Pradeep, our head of sales.
Thank you so much for inviting me in stage, sir. So इलेक्ट्रिक मोबिलिटी भन्ने बित्तिकै तपाईको सबैभन्दा पहिला माइन्डमा आउने कुरा भनेको एज अ ब्याट्री जब इलेक्ट्रिक मोबिलिटीको तपाई नाम लिनुहुन्छ त्यो टाइममा चाहिँ सबैभन्दा ओरेड हुने पिस अफ माइन्ड के कुराले हुन्छ त नि भन्दाखेरि त्यो ब्याट्री भोलिको टाइममा गएर के हुन सक्छ मेरो ब्याट्रीको लाइफ कति छ त्यो कुराले म्याटर गर्छ सो सबैजनाको इलेक्ट्रिकको बारेमा तपाईले सोच्दै गर्दाखेरि सबैले सोच्ने क्वेशन नै यही हुन्छ होला सो हामी नेपालमा लन्च गर्दाखेरि वी आर द फर्स्ट ब्रान्ड जसले 5 years or 60,000 किलोमिटरको ब्याट्री रिप्लेसमेन्ट वारेन्टी नेपालमा फर्स्ट टाइम लन्च गरेको थियौं टु व्हिलरमा सो अहिले भइरहेको हामीसँगको मोडलमा हामी 2.9 र 3.7 किलोवाटको दुईटा ब्याट्री प्याक हजुरहरुलाई प्रोवाइड गरिरहेका छौं सो त्यसमा चाहिँ 5 years or 60,000 किलोमिटरको ब्याट्री रिप्लेसमेन्ट वारेन्टी तपाईले पाउन सक्नुहुन्छ जुन चाहिँ तपाईको 70% अफ ब्याट्री हेल्थको एस्युरेन्सका साथमा इफ तपाईको ब्याट्री हेल्थ 70% भन्दा तल डिग्रोथ भएको केसमा अथवा त्यो थ्रेशोल्ड भन्दा तल आएको केसमा हामी रिप्लेसमेन्ट नै गर्दिन्छौं सो
Good.
सो इन्डियाको हामीले हिस्ट्री हेर्यो भने पनि अहिलेसम्मको 5 yearsको इन्टरभलमा नर्मली ब्याट्री स्टिल 5 yearsको युज पछाडी पनि 90% को ब्याट्री स्टेट अफ हेल्थको ब्याट्रीको कन्डिसनमा अहिले पुगिरहेको स्थिति छ सो एथरमा तपाईले जब भेहिकल किनिराख्नु भएको छ र ब्याट्रीको बारेमा चाहिँ अलिकति पिस अफ माइन्ड चाहिँ पाउन सक्नुहुन्छ सो now we are launching the 870 warranty for battery Aether battery जुन चाहिँ इन्डस्ट्रीको फर्स्ट 870 वारेन्टी हो जुन चाहिँ लङ्गेस्ट वारेन्टी पिरियड हो ब्याट्रीको टु व्हिलरमा हेऱ्यो भने सो 8 इयर्स अर 80,000 किलोमिटरको इन्टरभलमा तपाईँको ब्याट्री हेल्थ 70% भन्दा तल डिग्रोथ भएको रेसियोमा हामी ब्याट्री नै रिप्लेस गरिदिन्छौँ हामी ब्याट्री रिपेयर गर्दैनौँ सर्भिस गर्दैनौँ हामी ब्याट्री रिप्लेसमेन्ट गरिदिन्छौँ सो एथरको केसमा तपाईँले भेहिकल युज गर्दै गर्दाको केसमा 5 इयर्स अर 8 इयर्स हुँदै गर्दाखेरि तपाईँले ब्याट्री हेल्थको डिग्रोथको कारणले तपाईँले पावरमा कम्प्रोमाइज गर्नु पर्दैन तपाईँले एक्सिलरेसनमा कम्प्रोमाइज गर्नु पर्दैन तपाईँले अपिलको लागि सेम पावर जेनेरेट गर्छ यसले चाहिँ मोटरमा केही पनि इम्प्याक्ट पार्दैन सो तपाईँले त्यो कुरामा चाहिँ ढुक्क हुँदा हुन्छ सो हाम्रो 100% कभरेज हामी पुरै रिप्लेसमेन्ट गरिदिन्छौँ ब्याट्रीको केसमा इफ तपाईँको ब्याट्रीमा केही प्रब्लम आउनु पनि पर्दैन त्यसको हेल्थ डिग्रोथ हुँदैको केसमा पनि सो आइडल स्टेट एस्युरेन्स छ र नो अप्पर लिमिट अन क्लेम्स सो ब्याट्री 8 इयर्स अर 80,000 किलोमिटरको हाम्रो न्यू प्राइसिङ चाहिँ 9,999 फर 2.9 किलोवाट 12,499 रुपिज फर 3.7 किलोवाट यो चाहिँ तपाईँले एक्जिस्टिङ कस्टमरले र अब किन्ने कस्टमरले पनि किन्न पाउनुहुनेछ सो एज अ एथर तपाईँले जस्ट स्कुटर मात्रै किन्नुहुन्न तपाईँले एउटा क्वालिटी गुड्स किन्नुहुन्छ एउटा रिलायबल गुड्स किन्नुहुन्छ र पिस अफ माइन्ड सबैभन्दा इम्पोर्टेन्ट चाहिँ पिस अफ माइन्ड पनि पाउनुहुन्छ तपाईँले सो थ्याङ्क यू सो मच फर दिस
Thank you so much, Pradeep, for going over the 870 warranty. I am excited to be introducing this to you. Again, reiterating that this is the industry first coming as an 8-year warranty for a two-wheeler. One thing that I love about the Aether warranty is the 70% guarantee. That's one thing I just love. The last issue that we had actually spoken about initially was the lack of infrastructure. That's one thing that we have been working on since the start, and we look to improve upon on a day-to-day basis. Right now, we have fast charging grids. We are also upgrading our chargers with Aether Duo coming in recently. We are trying to improve the charging capabilities on the product on a day-to-day basis. Right now, we have around 21 fast charging Aether grids set up across Nepal. 14 in Kathmandu, some in Butwal, Pokhara, Chitwan, and now, as of last month, we are looking to connect even the intercity routes. We had our first community member actually drive from Chitwan to Kathmandu last week. And this was just a little thing that they had to say about their journey. They were able to do it within a couple of hours. I think it took them around 6 hours, but was able to have a seamless journey from Chitwan all the way to Kathmandu with the help of our fast charging grid. Another thing that you already know is that if you charge on our grid, it is free until 2026. And we look forward for you guys to take maximum advantage of this. In the next 2 years, Aether Nepal is planning to go 100 plus grid across the country. Again, we don't want you to compromise your ride or face range anxiety ever. We want to make your mobility solution as seamless as possible. So, taking a quick break from the 2 launches that we just had, I just want to go back to our community a little bit. Apart from the 5 members who really stood out, we wanted to take this event to give back. Again, I think we've been working tirelessly to make your experience as easy as possible. And today, we would like to offer every single Aether community member a special deal. So, as you know, this is what you saw. We want to give an option to the Aether community to be able to purchase the 870 warranty at a discounted rate and also provide 1 year free 10,000 kilometers complimentary of Aether Max to every single rider that is on the street today. Again, without you, we would not have been able to do any of this. So this is a little thank you from by the Energy team to our community. So I think for the moment we've all been waiting for. We've talked about services, we've talked about new programs. We want to now show you what Aether has in stock now. So I would like to invite onto stage Mr. Saurav Sharma, the head of Aether Marketing India. He's just assumed this role and been with the company for the last 5 years. Over the last day that we've gotten to interact with him, it's been an absolute pleasure. We're learning so much, we're growing so much with his advice. So yes, Saurabh.
Thank you. Thank you, Suranshi. Namaste. Namaste, Nepal. तपाईलाई कस्तो छ मेरो नाम सौरभ हो यो मेरो नेपालको पहिलो पटक हो और ये एकदमै राम्रो छ म यति मात्र नेपाली जान्छु त्यसैले अब अंग्रेजीमा so okay, so that's genuinely all the Nepali I knew. So yeah, so here onwards I'll speak in English, right? So welcome once again to the launch of 2025 Aether 450. We have some exciting updates for you. And before I get into what are the changes in the product, right? I just want to quickly cover what is it that the existing 450 platform, because today's product, whatever we'll show, is building on the existing platform. What is it that the existing platform already offers, right? And to do that, I need some of your help, right? How many of you here are Aether owners? Can I show of hands, please? Aether owners. Okay, great. Great. A handful of them. How many of you have ridden Aether at least once? Maybe you don't own it, but you've ridden it once. Okay, great. Can we have some mics for the audience? Can we have some mics? Mics there in the audience? Okay. Firstly, maybe an owner. Somebody raised the hand there. I think you raised your hand. You're an owner, right? Owner, right? Okay. Can we have the mic with him, please? Just once? Yeah. So what I want to know from you is that you've been riding an Aether. What do you like about the Aether? What are top 1 or 2 things that come to your mind that you like about the Aether?
The performance.
The performance,
Yeah.
okay, okay, excellent. Performance.
Also, it's hassle-free because of the grids and everything.
Sorry?
Hassle-free.
Hassle-free.
Yeah. It's
Hassle-free.
because of the grids.
Grids.
You don't have to think about the charge.
You don't have to worry about charge, okay? So hassle-free riding, okay, that's
And it's
anything
mostly
else?
the ride quality.
The ride quality, performance and ride quality. Great, I think, absolutely. Thank you, sir. I think a lot of others who have raised your hand, somebody else would want to answer. What do you like about your Aether? Anybody, can we, show of hands, come. Oh, okay, we have somebody here, yeah.
Well, I'm the father of Suzal.
Oh, okay.
I random get
Let me guess, do you like the warp mode?
that's the walk mode.
He likes the warp mode.
Ride is okay with me.
Okay.
And it's a fantastic scooter. When I'm riding it, I feel why people are still buying the petrol ones. So that's a question. I love every aspect of Aether scooter or the electric scooters. But definitely, Aether brings the robustness in it. One feels very confident when you are riding it because the brakes are very sharp. You can
Yeah.
stop it where you want it.
Yeah.
And it's zippy.
Yeah.
It doesn't fail you when you are riding a hill.
Right.
So that's a very great advantage with other scooters. With other electric scooters, they fail there.
Right.
But Aether wins your heart on that aspect. And it's no vibration, cool. For my age, the sitting posture may be a bit aggressive, but for him, he loves it.
He loves it.
I was rather waiting for Rista. So, and I think it may be, as you, Suryans was talking about the percent mark of the EV hold in the market.
Yeah.
What is stopping it, I think, is the price sweet spot, which people are waiting for it. In the four-wheelers, why it has surged in Nepal is, I think, the price. Either it may be due to the tax or other reasons, but the price is very suitable. That's why people have gone into a four-wheeler bandwagon, and everyone is buying that.
Sir, you should join our team, by the way. You have a lot of insight. You should join our team. Suryansh, you should notice, sir, we...
Let me retire first and then.
Sure.
Well, I can come and speak all the time, wherever you have the events. But it's a lovely scooter. Keep up the spirit. The numbers are definitely going to go up. But think of the ways where you can maintain the quality or rather enhancing it, but trying to bring the prices down so that every human being in this planet can enjoy the EV mobility.
Thank you.
That's what because if you are trying to enrich the environment, so trying to fulfill the people's desire. Thank you.
True. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I can clearly see the passion in you have actually ridden the scooter and all the things that you spoke about how zippy it is, and I think absolutely. So performance, I'm coming back to my flow. Why is it that people like performance, ride handling, zippy, goes through really fast, silence? Anybody else who's ridden an Ather? One last, somebody here, okay.
Thank you, sir. Naveen Pokhrel from bimadarpan.com, editor of bimadarpan.com. Last time I got chance to ride Ather on our Dhulikhel ride.
Okay.
I went there. Actually, sir, what I feel different is it's a powerful EV.
It's a powerful EV.
Powerful EV because I ride myself now. And secondly, I have noted this different feel. While you ride, you feel a bit different than other vehicle.
Okay.
And it's very comfortable.
Okay.
Major thing is comfortable, and according to my own experience, I want to tell it's very comfortable like Splendor. You know,
Okay.
comfortable like Splendor.
Okay.
And it's accelerate like R15.
Comfortable like Splendor, but races like an R15.
Yeah, races like R15.
Okay.
And pick up like Apache. Pick up like Apache. But finally, one major thing I want to tell it height friendly. And one thing, please you may note this, Ather is a height-friendly dot.
Oh, okay.
For a person like me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Usually we don't compare ourselves with competitions, but I'll take that, right? Right? Okay. So absolutely, like you've heard, right? People say Ather. We started work, it was our first scooter, and this is Swapnil and Tarun and the entire team working on it. Can we have the music off, please? Yeah. So they started working on it at IIT Madras in 2013. And they wanted to make a scooter, right? Because scooter market was supposed to be bigger, right? But at the heart of it, these were youngsters who would ride bikes, and they were passionate bikers. So they wanted to make a two-wheeler that rides really well, right? And that's why you see that even today, and finally they launched the 450, and even today all the responses that we are hearing are around how it is performance packed, how it is zippy, how it flicks really well, right? All that is because although it is a scooter and brings in all the convenience of a scooter, but it's made by very passionate bikers, so it rides like a bike, right? And therefore, right from the beginning, right, all the features here that you see in the Ather 450 are inspired by the motorcycle world, right? So if you see the motorsport-inspired form, right, which is really sharp, cuts through the air like knife cuts through the butter, right? Or the zero-lag throttle, the throttle that we have a patent on the throttle technology. So the moment you move the throttle even a little, the time it takes for the wheel to respond is a fraction of a second, right? It's smaller than a human reaction time. Nobody in the ICE world can replicate that purely because of their transmission limitations. Nobody in the EV world has been able to replicate it because it requires a lot of R&D and backward integration, which Ather has, but and which is what our advantage is. Lightweight aluminum chassis, right, is the first scooter that came with a monocoque aluminum chassis that allows it to be really light, and you can therefore flick it very, very easily and in tight spots, in tight roads. The low center of gravity, the heaviest parts of the scooter, which is the battery and the motor, are right at the bottom. What that allows you is that you can do the turns and you can lean the scooter really easily, right, like a bike, like a sports bike. Then your balanced weight distribution, whether you look at front or back weight distribution or sideways weight distribution, it's almost 50-50. That again makes it very easily to ride. Very strong torque, 26 Newton meter, and a monoshock that further enhances the performance characteristics of the vehicle. So these are things that are already there in the Ather 450 platform. And that is what sort of makes it ride like a bike, right? In fact, that's how and that's how we are sort of, So it is a scooter that gives you the utility and comfort of a scooter, right? It gives you great storage, 22 liters on the boot. And if you use our accessories, then it gives you more storage than even all petrol scooters. And it gives you performance like a bike. So it's right at the sweet spot. In fact, back in India and even here when I met some of the customers, people like to call it, they have given names, right? So some people call it a flight, some people call it jet, but a lot of people call it the bike of scooters. And that's how we have actually taken up this line, bike of scooters, and we are sort of positioning the 450X as the bike of scooters, even in India, and now going forward, you'll see a lot of our communication hinging around the bike of scooters, right? So that's what the Ather 450 current platform is. With that, I think, let me come to what are the new updates that we are bringing on the Ather, on this new bike of scooters. Well, since it rides like a bike, whenever you sit on this scooter, you don't feel like riding it really. I mean, you can ride it slow, but it is the stance, the response, the acceleration always sort of keeps nudging you to push it hard, right? And therefore, usually, whoever rides the Ather is pushing it more than they would think they would ride a scooter like, right? So you're always pushing it more than your limits, right? And that depends on wherever you are, right? So it's definitely more than how much you would push a petrol scooter. And because of which, when you're riding a 450, you're always sort of on the edge of traction, right? You want to push further, but at the end of the day, it's a scooter, and therefore it's something that holds you back. Hey, what if I slip? What if I skid? Right? What if the traction loses? Especially if there's, stones on the road or sandy surface or wet surface. So you're always worried about that, and that's why, so that people don't hold themselves back and they can push this machine, which is meant for pushing further. The first thing that we are introducing on the 450 is the multi-mode traction control. So this essentially prevents the scooter from skidding, right? First thing, to understand what the feature does, why do scooters skid, right? Scooters skid if the wheel, the speed of the two wheels are different, right? The front wheel and the back wheel, if the speed is different, then the scooters typically skid. It can happen because the friction of the surface could be different, right? The front wheel friction versus the back wheel friction with the road. It could be different, which happens on a wet surface or on sandy surface, anywhere. So just to show you how this skid happens, we have a small demo that I'll try to play here. This is a normal 125cc scooter. We have put it on the sandy road, and you back open the throttle. This is how, if you can see, the tire is loose. The rear tire is losing its grip, right? So that is how, the moment that happens, you feel that skid on the backside, right? So this is what happens to a normal 125cc scooter. When we, after introducing traction control on the 450, when we do the same test, similar conditions on an Ather 450, this is how the tire responds. If you see, there is no skid, right? The tire is not losing traction at any point in time. And we have whacked open the throttle in both the cases, right? So that's what traction control essentially does. The moment your tire starts losing traction, right, it comes into play and it controls the speeds and matches it to the speed of the front tire for you to feel balanced, right? The beauty of this feature is that you switch it on, right? You go over the surface and you never realize that you could have skid anywhere because you just don't feel it. It just comes in, does its job and moves out, right? So this can happen on any kind of surface. It can happen on wet surface. It can happen where there are small stones on the surface or sandy surface or dirt surfaces. Any of these surfaces, this kind of skid can happen. So that's what we are introducing, traction control. And now this traction control is, it comes in 3 modes, right? That's why we call it the multi-mode traction control. The first mode is the rain mode, right? As the name suggests, especially when it rains for the first time, right? The roads are very slippery, right? And therefore, in the rain mode, the traction control intervenes very, very proactively. It doesn't allow your scooter to skid even a bit, right? So this is for maximum safety, right? So if you're going on surfaces where you're guaranteed a slip, like when it rains, you switch this on and it intervenes really proactively and doesn't allow the scooter to skid. The second is the road mode, which is for normal riding, right? Where by and large you know that the roads are going to be fine, but maybe one-off patch where this could come, you can keep it on road mode when you're if you're riding in normal city conditions. In this case, the traction control intervenes a little later, right? So which means you can enjoy the normal roads only if there is that one-off case, does it intervene. And the third mode is the rally mode. This is for riding enthusiasts, right? This is for people who want a little bit of skid, right? Because if you're owning a machine that goes that fast, sometimes you like to go a little skiddy, a little fast. You want to enjoy that thrill. So this is for those people. This is where the traction control intervenes really late, right? It allows you to do that skid, but just when you're about to cross the threshold and you would fall, it's then that it intervenes, right? So it is for people who want to push the scooter a little. So that's the first thing. Some of our friends in media, and the beauty of why is it that Ather is able to provide these 3 kinds of traction? It is because of the technology we have. Thanks to our in-house motor controller and the kind of algorithms we run on our Ather stack, this traction control can intervene 1,000 times per second, read the difference, and readjust the speed of your wheels, right? So that's a degree of precision that an Ather vehicle can offer you. So some of our friends from the media fraternity in Kathmandu, I think, experienced this vehicle a few days back. I think we have a little video of all of them, just for you to see how this. Can we have the volume on this?
The world in a panic, the women is stranded, the men on the run. The profits abandoned, the law take advantage. The market is crashing, the industry wants niggas and bitches to sleep in the box while they making a mockery following us. This ain't monopoly, watching for love. This ain't monogamy, y'all getting fucked. Jumping on what the hell is that? I gotta relax when I feel. All my descendants, they come in my sleep.
So today we're having an insane event where we're pushing the limits of the Ather 450 series to the next level.
Miracles, I know the feelings they came with burial cries. Vincent in the sand. Can I fit on my truth? I got lose, I got problems and booze, I can swim on my fate. Cameras moving whenever I'm moving, the family suing whenever I make. Murder is stacking, the president acting, the government taxing my funds in the bank. Homies ejecting the fence when I'm breaking. Look at my reaction, my pupils on skates. Holla, holla. Let's think about this for a second. Tell me what you would do for steady. When you show your show, no credit. When you show your bro for leverage. What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? You out of pocket, yeah, you out of pocket. You entertain the mediocre, need to stop it. You entertaining old friends, but they toxic. What your life like, bullshit and gossip. What the fuck is council culture, dog? Say what I want about you niggas, I'm like overdog. I treat you crackers like I'm Jigga, watch I own it all. Oh, you worry about a critic, that ain't protocol, bitch.
So I saw some of those clippings, and I tell you, these people push the vehicle really hard. But you know, that's what the vehicle is made for. You can push it as much as you want. You don't expect that out of a scooter, do you? I mean, this is all bike stuff, man, right? But the Athers can do it, right? So, yeah. The beauty is that with a feature like traction control, you don't need to be an expert to enjoy terrain like that, right? Even the common users can use the traction control and really push the scooter to whatever limit you feel you're comfortable with. So that's the first update on the Ather 450 2025, that it comes with the multi-mode traction control. Next thing, all our scooters, Ather scooters, are backed by our proprietary intelligence engine, which we call Ather Stack, right? Ather Stack gives you a host of features. It unlocks a host of features for you with the help of software, hardware, firmware, connectivity. We sort of combine all these together to deliver some experiences that other vehicles or ICE vehicles can definitely not deliver. Some of these, so let me give you some examples of some of the features that Ather Stack provides, right? So first such feature that Ather Stack provides is called auto hold, right? Auto hold is a feature that if you're going on an incline or a decline or a flyover, or in Nepal you have a lot of inclines and declines, the scooter automatically detects the incline, and if you stop, it engages auto hold, which means the scooter stops there, it doesn't roll back, and you can just leave your hands, right? So it automatically does that. Extremely convenient feature, right? So auto hold gets triggered, which is an Ather Stack feature. It gets triggered 36 lakh times every day, right? So every day, 36 lakh times, it is making somebody's life easier somewhere, and this is across India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, and all the places that we sell. The second feature that comes in Ather Stack, and this is just an example, is fall safe. What fall safe does is that if your scooter falls down because of any reason, and this, I mean, typically if there's an accident or scooter has fallen down, most of the times people rush and they try to pick the scooter with the accelerator handle. And if that accelerator rolls, the scooter goes off again, right? And that causes another accident. It's a fairly common occurrence. What fall safe does is that the moment it detects a crash, it cuts the motor so that you can pick it up, but it will still not move, right? So that gets triggered 600 times a day. So imagine somebody's life is getting saved 600 times a day, or injuries getting saved 600 times a day across the fleet. That's another Ather Stack feature. Live location sharing, right? You can share the location of your scooter within just few clicks with your loved ones. So whether you're a lady traveling alone in the night, or a young kid who's traveling and you want to share your location and your parents want to just be assured that you're okay, right? You can share that. That gets triggered almost 1 lakh times in a month, right? So that's that. Then almost 12 times per ride, people use WhatsApp or call with the combination of our Ather Halo helmets and scooter, right? So again, makes life really easier. So these are just some examples of the kind of feature that Ather Stack enables, and with the combination of all these hardware and software features that we have. There are a host of such features that Ather Stack does. It is a full day exercise if I have to take you through all of them. So maybe you can, once you go to our showroom next, you can ask exclusively about Ather Stack, and we can take you through them. So the new 450 is powered by the Ather Stack 6, which is the latest Ather Stack. So that'll come in the 2025 version. Now the next thing, one very important thing that you consider when you buy an EV is the range. And Ather has been trying to do a lot of interventions to make sure that you get maximum range out of your scooters. Some of the things that Ather does towards range is, firstly, Ather's range numbers that you see on the dashboard are really predictable, really accurate and really predictable, which means if it says 5 kilometers, you will go 5 kilometers, right? Which is not the case with a lot of EVs out there, right? You cannot rely on the number that they show there. Secondly, we have tried to increase, without really changing the battery pack size, right? We have tried to increase our range purely through running better algorithms, understanding consumer riding behavior better, and just introducing new modes. So that's another way we have done it in the past, and because of which today our scooters already enjoy a healthy IDC range, for example, of 150 on the bigger battery pack and 110 on the smaller battery pack, right? What we have done this time is that we have worked closely with MRF, which is a tire manufacturer, because tires doing little changes to tire can help you increase the range of the vehicle. So we have co-developed a specific Ather-specific tire along with MRF, which we call the MRF Zapper NE tread. This allows us to reduce the rolling friction between the tire and the road without any compromise on the performance of the scooter, right? So the same performance, the same grip, the same kind of braking, but lower resistance. What that does is that increases our range numbers from 150 to 161 on the IDC side, 110 to 126 for the smaller battery pack, right? And on the true range, these are the old numbers, the true range actually goes up by as much as almost 20% roughly, right? And similarly on the smaller battery pack, it goes up from 90 to 105. All this without you having to do any change in your riding behavior, without we having to give you any bigger battery, just pure innovation, right? So with these tires, you can ride the 450 longer, you can warp longer, you can ride longer, you can do whatever you want a little longer, right? So that's the third update on the 2025 450. And the last one is that we are introducing 2 new colors on the 450. We already have an exciting range of colors available. These 2 add to that. The first one is inspired by the colors of the sand, colors of the desert. Deserts have been the testing ground for automobiles for ages now, for decades now. And we always had it in our mind to have a color dedicated to the desert, and this is Hypersand is sort of our take on that. Looks beautiful on the scooter, comes in a matte color, we'll unveil it in a while. And the second one is called Stealth Blue. That's inspired by the colors of the deep ocean, right? So it's a very interesting blue. We did not have a blue in our portfolio, so it's our take on how blue should be. So I think those are pretty much the 4 or 5 exciting updates we have. With that, I think we would like to unveil the scooters to you, and for that I would request Suryansh to please come up. Right? Volume?
Go back.
Audio? Once you're ready.
It's in chaos that the reason becomes clear. You realize it isn't just the speed or the controls, the magic, or even power. The reason has always been pure joy. The 2025 Ather 450 with multi-mode traction control, bike or scooters, for a reason.
So thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful explanation. I think that was phenomenal. So once again, these are 2 new colors. I think we had a couple of eyes on them during the Ather Media Day as well. I definitely have a favorite. And yes, I think we got a great response the last time as well. Thank you so much, Saurabh, for walking us through all the new changes that are coming on the 2025 version. So just, again, to summarize everything that was spoken about, these are the new changes that have now come forth in our new Ather 450 2025 bike of scooters. So I think now we can potentially go into, I think, a question that I've heard a lot. Media Day, I heard even more. I think it's the first message that you get on social media as well. You see a little price, please, PP. So, to reveal the new prices. Go next. I think a moment that you all been waiting for. Guys, that's not the right price. Again. Can you, guys? Next one. Guys, this is our current pricing. Wrong again. Can you get this right? There we go. I think it is quite amazing, Saurabhji, that you actually had the interaction with all the community, and a lot of what we are trying to bring in was actually addressed. Speaking about after-sales service, speaking about our infrastructure, speaking about battery, speaking about the product, but I think most importantly, speaking about price. I'm really glad that everyone was able to address it. And with the help of Aether, we've been working tirelessly to see what we could do to adjust the pricing a little bit for you. We've worked tirelessly, optimized it, and I'm excited to announce our new prices. So, I think we're coming to a close of our event today. Now that you've seen our new products, we would love for you to interact a little bit. But yeah. Oh, the team wants me to say one more thing. But I think after this, we can definitely experience the 450 outside. We have a couple of activities, and you can tell me what your favorite color is out of the two. But yeah, apparently there's one more thing.